stalked. I have never been the most observant individual. My eyesight is notoriously awful. My hearing almost just as bad. I'm often alone in my house nightly, everyone off doing their own things, wherever and whenever. One night in particular, I was exhausted. The previous night, I was in and out of sleep. Throughout the night, I could have sworn I heard crying and the sound of distraught voices. When I had awoken for the final time, I knew it was all a dream. I ate dinner in deafening silence, surrounded by emptiness, but I was not alone. Behind me, a man stood at the window, out of my view. I caught a glimpse of him for a second when I concluded my meal and got up to put my dishes away. He was wearing a mask that was originally white, but was tattered and stained. He ducked when he realized I was going to see him, but it was too late. I pretended as if I had never seen him, because I was not entirely sure if I had seen him at all. The glare on the window from the artificial overhead lights made me doubt what I had seen. The validity of my vision was disputed, even by myself. Regardless, I was afraid, so I nonchalantly locked the back door, which had been left unlocked all night. Any time he wished, he could have cured my loneliness. After a few minutes, I began to hear voices. From the other end of the house, the chattering of whispers could be heard. I wanted to go investigate, but I was frozen with fear. Any moment, with random chance, someone could come back and be in danger of the threat they knew nothing about, and every second I was gambling their fate. I walked to where the noise was emanating from and saw that man, standing straight in the corner, facing me. He continued to whisper while standing perfectly still. I got a better look at him. He was wearing professional business attire, complete with a top hat. I stood, staring for an eternity. Finally, he spoke up. "Give in. You will. The future is written." This had to be my imagination. It was my imagination. My mind plays tricks on me. I went back into my room. I heard a knock on my door and heard his voice again. "Physical divisions will not stop your nature. They will not. Your victims have already suffered." I turned my music up. He continued to knock. Eventually, the constant tapping had driven me past insanity. I threw the door open to see a familiar emptiness. I was seeing things. I was hearing things. I'm not crazy. I knew a man had to have broken into my house and was tormenting me. He knew something that he shouldn't. I ran into the kitchen and found the nearest knife. I had to kill him. He couldn't get away. I frantically ran around. Each room, each space was empty. I heard laughing coming from somewhere. It was coming from everywhere at once. I screamed because it was all I could do. I blacked out and woke up on the couch. He evaded me. They always do. One day, I'll catch one. Someone came in through the front door with a greeting. "Hey, how was your night?" I smiled and said, "The usual. Can't complain." We then went our ways, and I went to attempt to sleep.